Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting show, and we have Catherine back with us today. We appreciate you coming down today, Catherine. How you doing?
Just fine.
Well, you know, you've had some fan mail. You have some fans out there. People have been asking for a while because you haven't, due to scheduling problems and things, you hadn't done much with us in the last couple of months, but we do appreciate you being back on today's show. And I'll tell you what, for Catherine's fans, and who, if you'd like to write to her, it's okay. You can write to Catherine, care of the shooting show, and our regular 327 Irvin Rowland Road address. That's Duberly, Louisiana 71024. You're certainly welcome to. You try and answer your mail, don't you?
Normally I do.
Well, and so if you'd like to do that, you know, women are a very important part of our project, certainly, and we're just very, very pleased to be coming to you today. Hey, friends, we're here again, and we want you to know that we're here on the air today in part because of your contributions. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate the sponsors we have. We're very excited about Wilson Combat. Catherine showed that catalog. This is a terrific catalog, and we'll have be doing some things with Bill Wilson later on in the program. I think you're really going to enjoy seeing. Also, we're going back down to Villa Rica, Georgia. We have a little more tape we want to run with our good friend Curtis Shipley of Georgia Arms, and we're very, very pleased about that. We do appreciate all our sponsor participation because, friends, let me tell you what, as I've said many times, this is not the pregame show. This is not the rehearsal. This is not practice. We are, in fact, in the championship game as far as our gun rights go, as far as what's going to be happening. What we do now will be affecting future generations as far as gun ownership goes. For younger people, I would like very much for my grandchildren to be able to grow up and enjoy shooting and enjoy and know what this is about. But right now, friends, we stand in grave danger of not only losing our Second Amendment rights, but in fact of losing the rest of the Bill of Rights. This is true. This is not something that's going to be coming down the road in 10 or 15 years or even 5 years. It's here now. If you want to do something about it, if you want to help, one of the things that you can do, you can sit down and make out a check for the Shooting Show Project. Now, you can help us stay on the air. Right now, friends, we have a lot of things that are up in the air. We have the capability of dramatically expanding our programming, but we need the money to do it. And you know, Kat, I don't enjoy sitting asking our viewers for money, but you know what? It's got to be done. If we're gonna do something about it, it has to be done. So whatever you can send to help expand, stabilize, and expand this project, please send to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana, the zip code 71024. Our phone numbers are area 318-377-5189. If you'd like to talk to Bobby Christie about advertising, you can call him at area 903-693-5097. We want to mention some very important supporters of this program, and of course one of which is Custom Leather Work and Saddlery down in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Now, they do all kinds of custom leather work. They make holsters. They will fix all kinds of difficult to fix shoes like linemen's boots, stuff like that's hard to do. Also, they make harnesses for guide dogs, and you can't find that just anywhere. So let me give you their phone number. Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie at Custom Leather Work and Saddlery. They're down in Denham Springs. That's area 504-667-9225. Again, Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery, area 504-667-9225. Well, friends, we have a great show for you today. We're going to be featuring some of the International Defensive Pistol Association shooting. And in fact, Catherine, this will be good. You hadn't done the shooting for a little while.
It's been a little while.
Been a while. Well, I'll tell you what, this is something that men and women can compete equally at. What they've done is, in my opinion, they've taken IPSC and fixed it so the rest of us who don't have access to $2,000 and $3,000 guns can be competitive. This is a tremendous idea, something we want to...
So I could go out there with just the handgun I got sitting at the house?
Yes, in fact. Yes, in fact, and you don't have to have a scope on it. You don't have to have a $200 or $300 holster that's adjustable in 900 different ways. This is great, and this is something that Bill Wilson and some other folks have started, and we're behind them. I promise you. This is something that I think an idea whose time has come. You know, for the past year, I've been looking into ways to try, because you know what? If we don't get people out shooting, if we don't get them out there with what they got, they don't have to have a $2,500 custom 18 or 20 shot 1911. Maybe they got a Taurus 357 at home, or maybe a 38 Special, or maybe a Smith & Wesson Model 10, or maybe they got a Glock, something like that. You can still compete, and you can compete fairly. What it does, it takes the emphasis off equipment and puts it back where it belongs, on the individual. See there? Instead of trying to buy success.
So somebody could go up there with just a little no-name brand gun.
Well, as long as it's a minimum caliber, like a 38 Special or 9mm, yes. And actually be competitive if they know how to use it. And this is the key. It's using what you've got, or something you can, if you need to get some sort of gun to compete with, you can do it without spending a couple of months' pay. You know, absolutely. So this is something we'll be talking about. Bill's going to be talking about this with us later on in the program. Incidentally, on the way over, of course, you and I hadn't seen each other, for a couple of months. Well, Catherine did comment. She thought I had lost a little weight.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Well, over 2 inches, and I had deflated my spare tire over 2 inches. And you know, Catherine's pretty tough on me, but even she was begrudgingly admitted outside, said, you know, you have lost. Well, thank you very much, friends. And I guess if we can, we've been showing the picture of me just a few weeks ago, and honestly, friends, when you can look down and see your belt buckle, now see, I don't think that's just a man thing either. This is exciting stuff. When you feel good, you got a completely natural substance. It's an antioxidant, very, very powerful antioxidant, and you don't have to change your exercise program dramatically. You don't have to change what you eat unless you just want to. It goes.
Might be healthier.
Well, it could be, but even if you don't, it'll still work on that fat. You know, and those, I can say this because I've been fighting this problem for a long time. I mean, most of my life I've been fighting this. So, for information on the pyruvate, I won't get this out of the way now because a lot of you are going to be watching for this. You can call my voicemail. The reason we have you call my voicemail because it answers all hours. And it's taken me a few days now, bear with me, to get back to everybody because we are very short-handed. So that's okay, and we're returning our calls as rapidly as possible. And trust me, friends, this is great stuff because, you know, if you just are carrying 10 extra pounds around, think about this, just 10 extra pounds, and you walk 1,000 steps, realize that's 10,000 plus foot-pounds. That's an extra 10,000 pounds you've moved that day, and most of us take more than 1,000 steps. So even a 10-pound loss, but we're talking to people that want to lose a lot of weight. Friends, you can do it. Pyruvate Plus, call me on my voicemail, area 318-682-4218, and leave your phone number. Please include your area code. Leave your phone number, and we're going to get back to you. I'm handling this, and albeit I'm a little slow, but we're doing the best we can. We'll get right back to you. If you're serious about feeling better, about losing weight, want to do it all naturally, this is the best thing that, you know, we've tried everything. Everything in the world, you know, patches, whatever else. There's no question, this is head and shoulders better than anything that we've ever tried. So, we got a great show for you today, friends. We're just getting underway with the shooting show. Let's let another shooting show begin. Now, friends, we're going to go back up today and visit with Bill Wilson of Wilson Combat there in Berryville, Arkansas, and Catherine is holding one of the nicest catalogs that I've ever seen. This is a very expensive piece of work that Wilson Combat is making available. So what you need to do, if you're interested, and I know most of you will be, give Wilson Combat a call. Their number is 1-800-955-4856. Again, 1-800-955-4856, and request a catalog. Now, the cost is $5, but that will be discounted on your very first order. So you'll get your money back the first time you order anything, and they have the largest selection of 1911 parts, certainly that I'm aware of, in the country. Tremendous people. We really do appreciate them supporting our shooting show. Well, let's go back and visit some more with Bill Wilson. And here we have one of the Wilson 1996 A2 model pistols and 45 ACP, friends. Let me tell you what, this is a top-of-the-line semi-automatic pistol. And we're going to be taking a look around Wilson's shop there in Berryville, Arkansas. I think you're really going to enjoy this piece. Bill, I am certainly impressed, especially that finish. Now, that 2,000 hours of salt spray, I mean, heck, stainless steel won't do that.
No. Actually, the type of stainless that are used on firearms, it's typically a 400 series stainless, like 410 or 416. They're typically not all that rust resistant.
You know, that's true. I've had stainless guns, put them up maybe in a case or something, one of those non-breathing cases, go back to it, and corrosion all over it. I've had that happen from several different manufacturers.
Yeah, because if the stainless has enough chromium in it to be able to heat treat it to the hardness that you need, it'll also rust.
Well, which does make sense. You've done some favors for Gun Owners of America. You're doing a roundup program type thing for them, right?
Yeah, what we do, matter of fact, it's right here in our catalog. We do what we call the Patriot Dollars program. Right here in the catalog, and anytime anybody places an order with Wilson's, we usually close the sales call with, would you like to contribute $1, $3, or $5 to Gun Owners America to help maintain your gun rights?
Well, friends, those of you out there watching know that we're more fans of Gun Owners of America than any other legislative organization or affecting organization, because Larry and those fellas they don't want to compromise.
That's right.
And go ahead.
Yeah, we send every penny of that to gun owners too. I mean, there's no handling fee or whatever. I mean, we're doing this because we really believe what Larry Pratt and Gun Owners of America are doing.
Well, I would certainly agree. And you said that you also saw a survey of the dollars spent that go to all the gun organizations, and we won't mention the others, but Gun Owners of America got the most money actually went to supporting our gun rights, more so than any other gun organization. I am correct on that, right? So that's another reason. Certainly, they're just not willing to compromise, and that's our problem, friends. We've been compromised. A lot of our rights have been compromised away from us. Okay. Now, Bill, another problem I have here. A lot of people I know, myself included, I like to shoot my old gun. I'd like to learn how. In fact, I try. But a lot of us like IPSC or action shooting type competition, but I got a revolver I like to shoot, and I can't afford $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a competition gun. Now, you understand my difficulty with that.
Yeah. That's one reason that I was one of the people instrumental in starting the International Defensive Pistol Association. And this is a new shooting organization, primarily aimed at the guy that has a concealed carry permit, an off-duty police officer, just any civilian shooter that wants to be more proficient with a practical self-defense weapon.
Well, no, we're talking, you say practical self-defense weapon. A lot of you out there have Model 19 Smith & Wessons, maybe have a Taurus 9mm semi-automatic. Maybe they got a 1911, a government model with a regular 7-shot magazine or whatever, and these guns are just not competitive in the shooting games like IPSC. But there's a lot more people that have these guns than can afford a $3,000 race gun. So I think this is a terrific idea. Now, you folks, this is a fast-growing organization. Am I right?
That's right. We actually finalized the rules in October of last year, and took the first membership check at the end of November last year, and we're already up to almost 1,200 members now, and we have 87 clubs.
Now, friends, what this does, it's just like we've been talking about cowboy action shooting. Its strength is getting people out shooting their guns and getting people involved again who, as the sport of IPSC shooting, International Practical Shooting, the IPSC, has kind of, the more specialized it became, it's weeded a lot of people out. And this is a case, and you have seen to it through your rules, it can never be an equipment race. Am I right?
That's right. We've written the rules to basically make it a shooting sport, not an equipment sport. Basically, the equipment is regulated to the point where you can't put any of the widgets on there that makes it a race gun.
No compensators, no scopes.
No porting of the barrels even. No another big plastic gaudy ghost ring type sights and weighted grips, and none of that stuff is permitted permitted in IDPA. If it's a 1911 you're shooting and it's not configured like you would really carry it on the street, it's not going to be legal for IDPA competition. And then, but our most popular division is what we call the stock service pistol division, and this division is designed specifically for the guy that's got the Glock 17, the Beretta 92F, you know, the Taurus PT92, you know, the Smith & Wesson 5906, SIG 226, those type of guns. It's specifically for those.
A lot of people have those guns, don't really know how it would go if they had to use them under pressure. So this is, I think, is a great opportunity for people to discover just in fact how their guns do work in competition.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Give them a call, 1-800-345-6923, a very inexpensive subscription price. Again, 1-800-345-6923. Subscribe today. Now, friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today, NWI, for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember, they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod. But these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001.
And remember, friends, the NWI has made a special deal for the shooting show. For every 1919 they sell, they will contribute another $300 to our shooting show project. So please give them a call today. Please tell them you saw it here on our program. This is, I think, is a great opportunity for people to discover just in fact how their guns do work in competition.
Yeah, and each division is totally separate. Just kind of like drag racing. You know, if you're into that, you know that the pro stock car doesn't run against the top fuel car. Well, if you're shooting a stock service pistol division, you will only compete against other people shooting equipment that's for stock service pistol division. You will not compete against the guy that's got the custom 1911. He'll be in a different division competing against people that have similar equipment.
Similar equipment. Now, and you hadn't left revolvers out either, have you?
No, we have what we call a stock service revolver division, and basically it is really a stock service revolver because we only allow you to change the grips, do an action job, and change the sights. No heavy barrels, no porting, none of the add-on barrel weights or any of this kind of stuff.
All right, suppose on revolvers, and I think this is important. We've done things on the show before thinking about different ways to equalize, to make them, shall we say, more competitive. Revolvers and semi-automatics. In this case, each class of gun is going to be shooting against other guns of its type. Now then, what if somebody, your revolver rules are based on 6 shots. Mm-hmm. What if somebody shows up with a 7-shot or Smith & Wesson or an 8-shot Taurus revolver? How are you going to deal with that?
Well, we realize that the vast majority of the revolvers out there are 6-shot, so we just limit 6 rounds in the revolver for our revolver.
So it doesn't matter if you got a 7 or 8 shooter, you're still going to be shooting 6 in this deal.
That's right. He's going to load 6 rounds in his 7-shot revolver.
Well, which I think is really fair, because just like you're talking about drag racing, heck, in golf, we have a handicap system in bowling, the other sports like that, and I think it's a good idea. Now, we're going to support this, and do you have some tape you're going to loan us on the match stuff?
Yeah, we had an invitational match in April, kind of our inaugural event to showcase what we're doing to the shooting media and to the shooting industry. We're going to give you some footage on that.
Well, I think that's going to be exciting, friends. And Bill, I tell you what, we really applaud what you're doing and your efforts. Let's go ahead and give a number. If someone wants information on and what is your association called?
It's the International Defensive Pistol Association.
So IDPA.
Yeah.
All right. How can people find that information on that?
Okay, they can call us at area code 870-545-3886, or they can email us at idpa.org at yournet, yournet.com.
Okay. Let's give that phone number again, please, sir.
Okay, it's area code 870-545-3886.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that this is an important step that you and some other folks have taken here, because, again, friends, if we don't get people out shooting these guns, if we don't let people see that they're not evil instruments, we're going to be shooting slingshots or something else. We won't have guns left if we don't get more people involved. Well, Bill, you're going to show us around your shop a little bit. We're going to do some stuff on the range in a little while, and I think we're going to have some fun here. I know that everyone's really going to enjoy seeing this.
Okay.
Well, Bill, what are these? I see we got all kinds of rows of boxes and all kinds of shipping materials. What is this?
This is our inventory area. Wilson's Gun Shop has primarily been known for all the custom pistols that we've produced all through the years. But in reality, our primary business is the parts and accessories. That's actually about 85% of our business. And they're primarily sold to the hobbyists that likes to install the product themselves, or the various gunsmiths around the country that build custom pistols. Some of the best custom pistolsmiths in the country, use a lot of the Wilson products in the guns that they build.
Now, Bill, what's this young lady doing at this desk here? It looks like she's doing some very careful handwork.
Actually, I think what she's doing is quality control. This is our inspection area. She's looking over some checker mainspring houses that have came in, making sure the checkering is nice and clean, there's no burrs in the checkering, and making sure that product's 100%, because here at Wilson's we really pride ourselves on the quality of the product we ship out the door, and everything that comes in the door gets a thorough inspection before it's packaged and ready to ship to the customer.
Now, Bill, I think I'm looking at evidence of a hunt. What is this trophy here on your wall, sir?
It's a Cape Buffalo.
Well, is that one of yours?
Yeah, it's one I took back in South Africa probably about 10 years ago, something like that.
And what did you shoot him with?
This particular one shot it with a 44 Magnum.
Excuse me?
44 Magnum. I've taken about, I think 5 of them now. I'm taking all of them, one of them with a 44 Magnum.
Well, Bill, all I can say is you're nervier than we thought you were. No kidding. My goodness. Bill, where are we now?
We're back in the custom shop now. This area where we build all the style pistols and install night sights on a lot of other. Do a little bit of revolver work back here.
Friends realize we're in a shop. Now, Bill, who's this young man we're looking at right now?
This is my son, Ryan Wilson. He's a custom shop foreman. And looks like today we thought him actually working on a gun. I think he's working building a service crate pistol.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bill, it's good to see a family-oriented business like yours. Certainly your wife works with you, and we're glad to meet your son. And I think this is great because this ensures that there will be, if we can have guns, there'll be some good ones in the future.
Yeah.
Bill, tell us what this individual's doing here, please, sir.
Okay, this is Victor Tibbetts. He's one of our master pistol smiths, and he's fitting the barrel right now. He does a lot of the hard fit of the match grade barrels to get the superb accuracy that he's actually, I think, fitting the lower locking lugs to the slide stop on this barrel right now.
Now, Bill, we're still here at your factory location, but hey, this looks a lot like a range to me.
Well, one of the reasons that we're able to consistently have the reliability on our guns is the fact that we can just step right out the back door from the custom shop and actually function fire the guns, test them for accuracy, zero the sights on them and everything. So basically every gun we build is test fired a minimum of 50 rounds, and most of the guns are test fired, upwards of 100 rounds. We send a test target with every gun to show how it will shoot, I say, and we zero the gun, with a good popular load before we ship the gun also.
Which, friends, you may find this unbelievable, but some of the factories ship out stuff that actually doesn't work out of the box. Occasionally we find things that don't work, and that won't be the case here, huh, Bill?
Well, we're human. Anybody can make a mistake, and occasionally we will get a gun back that has some sort of a problem. But we pride ourselves on our customer service. Typically when a warranty gun comes in, we drop what we're doing and do that immediately and get it right back out. We typically get our UPS incoming shipments at about 11 o'clock in the morning, and UPS picks up at 5 o'clock in the evening. Most warranty repairs come in at 11, go back out the same day at 5 o'clock.
We're back here. Of course, Wilson's has a number of craftsmen and very high-tech machine things, but wait a minute, Bill. That's a microwave over your shoulder there. Don't tell me you microwave your guns.
No, we don't do your microwaving, but the guys do get hungry once in a while.
Now, Bill, you've stepped in an office here. I think you have a couple of very important people. You don't tell us who these ladies are.
Okay, we've got Angela Smith here. She's rather important since she does the payroll and pays Uncle Sam on the excise tax on all these guns that the guys are building back there in the custom shop. And we've also got my lovely wife Darla here. She handles all the other taxes that keep IRS off of our case and all that good stuff. So they're both pretty much key people around here and keep the shop running.
Well, the women are very important at Wilson Guns, we would like to say, certainly. Friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nodular bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95. Loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Tell you what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, we're out here on with Bill Wilson at his range here, and we're actually going to have a shoot here in a few minutes. You're going to show us some drills, and of course we've got a group of folks around this evening that are shooters, and we're going to be doing some tape on different people running through. We're going to take a look at some times and things, and I think this is exciting because, one, I think you're about to do for practical shooting what cowboy action shooting has done for the single action. So we sincerely hope so, and we certainly support you on this. So let's take a look. You're going to show us this stage right now.
Yep. Okay, the first stage we're going to shoot here, what we're doing, we're trying to simulate a potential self-defense scenario. What we've got here, we're simulating, this is like a checkout counter at a convenience store with a shelf, table, whatever behind it. These are customers coming into the convenience store. Over here, we've got a barricade which we're going to simulate like a cooler, a freezer, which, you know, this is true cover here. It's not just concealment, it's true cover with a stop bullet. So what we're going to do, we're going to start out with a gun lay on the table, simulate behind the counter, you've got a gun there. Got three people come in, all of a sudden the closest one here produces a gun, you know, starts to rob the convenience store. Quick as you engage this target here, his buddies draw their guns, engage this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to duck behind cover a little bit. We're going to top off the gun before we cross the open ground. We're going to do what we call a tactical reload. Top off the gun, and we're going to go over to the cooler, which is better cover than what we had there. Once we look around the cover to see if there's any other problem, we realize that there's three more bad guys on this side. We're going to engage these three targets from here.
Of course, Bill's going to run through it first.
You ready? Stand by.
And it looks like we have some good hits here. Our time there.
11:71
Okay, 11.71 seconds total time for the drill.
for the total drill.
Okay?
They're like this one when they targets like none down or drop 1 point.
Tell you what, Bill had some good hits here.
If you don't, I won't be.
Really did. Kind of laid the groundwork that everyone else is going to have to kind of run against. Going to take another run at this.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
And notice, as part of realism there, he checks the area before he puts his gun away. Well, we got actually a faster time, but what's our score going to be? Do we have one out?
We have a couple out on it this time.
Okay. Well, let's see what our score is going to be.
Okay, come with me.
All right.
We'll go down through. On scoring system, you got a 5, a 4, and a 2. The 5 is none down. If you hit a 4, that's 1 point down.
All right, that's the outer circle from the center.
The second circle.
And then the 2 is
the outer ring of
it
on the deal. And each one, if you got a 2, that is 3 points down. If you've got a 4, that is only 1 point down. And in this machine here, the new timer that they've got for IDPA is all you got to do is hit a jump factor. It goes over, and it will add the points as we go through this.
So it's actually, so the timer itself is going to give you the score.
Give us the scores.
Great.
What it does, it accumulates each run, and then you hit jump factor, and you can come in this par upward, and it will add a point to it. As you show here, you hit the button, it automatically adds a 5/10 second. You can program that 5 to whatever you want, 5 or 6. But when you hit that button, it just automatically adds a 5/10 to it.
So we're
if
talking
you
simple
accidentally add one more than you need, all you have to do is hit the down arrow, and it takes it away automatically. It even drops your time back down.
Great.
So this timer has really improved things. So
well, let's see.
This target here is clean. This target is clean, so there's no points down. This target here has made 1 point down. So you would take
okay, friends, notice we have a 1 hole outside this center ring. So that's what he's talking about, 1 point down.
Yes. You hit the button at 1 point, and it automatically adds it totally for you. You hit the power button up, and it puts the 1 point on it.
Okay, this is a Pro Timer 4 Super. Are they offering this now?
Yes. IDPA has them for sale, exclusive.
Great.
To them. You just get notified IDPA, and they'll send you one to you.
Next shooter. Notice, friends, he's shooting a stock service pistol. This is a Beretta 92F. I mean, you don't have to have a 1911 to be competitive. So we'll see how he does.
Get ready. Stand by. Stand by.
Hold up. We had time for this particular shooter of 11:45, and now we'll check the targets. Okay, we got first one was
We've got
first 2
one
clean.
down.
Got 1 out on the 3rd target.
2-4-0. T5, 1 down.
1 out on T5 there.
0. So he shot it 2 points down. So we added in a second this time, made his final score 12.45.
Simple, good. And explain it to us. Run your shooter through there, sir.
Okay. On the buzzer, he will grab the gun off the counter, off his desk, engage these 2 targets right here, go to the doorway, he will engage 2 more. He will turn down the hall, and as he goes into the open of the open room, he will turn and engage 2 more on the left-hand side.
And one of them's a midget, right?
Yes. He's ducking.
Speed load there, won't we?
And he will shoot this from slide lock. He'll shoot the gun dry and speed load it from slide
Which
lock.
a lot of times in a real situation, people do lock or slides back. I mean,
They say you cannot count rounds in an actual gunfight.
Sure.
People that's been in says there's no way that you can count your rounds. So
in a real gunfight, yeah.
Right. So we practice that so you don't just get constantly in the habit of changing mags.
So you know what the heck to do,
Right.
too, under pressure. And this does put some pressure on you, but let me tell you what, friends, it's a lot of fun. All right, we're going to watch this shooter go through. Follow him through at a safe distance, of course.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
Good.
The reason that on the table, most of the time when you're at a desk, you will not have a gun on you. You will have it laying on the table.
Okay, we're going to watch this shooter go through. He's got a Wilson 1911 45.
You ready? Stand by.
My friend's Bill is going to shoot through one time with a revolver just to,
Jerry Nicholas with a revolver.
to demonstrate.
Which no one is, right?
Here. Stand by.
Good. That was a quick reload.
It's a good run.
Now, Bill is a good shooter, regardless of what he is shooting, that revolver. Taking a look at a couple of the targets here. One of the other targets. 1,000.
I'm unlocking my car door.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
Clear. It was clean run. All five. Which, you know, miracles happen, friend. You know, Mr. Average here, miracles happen.
All right, friends, we've moved into nighttime here.
Shooter ready. Stand
Another
by.
scenario. We've got 3 targets up here. And typical, Bill's accuracy is certainly good even at night.
Now, friends, we really want to express our appreciation to Bill Wilson, his family, his staff, and certainly his guests for being on our program and working with us here on the Shooting Show. Remember that catalog, only $5, 1-800-955-4856. And if you have questions about the International Defensive Pistol Association, you can call them, area 870-545-3886. That email address, idpa.org@yournet.com. And I really think this is going to help all of us. It's going to get more people out shooting. We'll join Bill for more conversation next week. He's going to tell us about some hunting he's done.
I'm wearing this full-length duster available from Olson Brothers, and this great hat, of course, from the Lynch Hat Works there in Olson Brothers out in Spokane, Washington. And I tell you what, friends, this is a tremendous cold weather coat, whatever you need a good strong coat for to stay warm. It would be great outdoors for any sort of work or just for show, or certainly it looks nice enough you can wear it to town on Saturday night if you want to. These are available for $100 to our Shooting Show audience. These great long dusters, and they're just terrific. They normally, I've seen these things go for as much as $250, and honestly that is a great price for our Shooting Show audience, so we need to give them a call. They also have these terrific hats that are handmade and all numbers of or assortments of styles or whatever else. These are very reasonably priced. What you need to do, you need to give Olson Brothers a call out there, and the Lynch Hat Works, of course, is inside Olson Brothers. Let me remind you, they also clean in block hats. If you got a hat you need worked on, they can do it for you. They have this little neat little newspaper type thing. You can give them a call, area 509-328-4617. And let me remind you, they have all sorts of accessories like colognes and spurs and all sorts of neat stuff. So friends, please remember, they're helping to keep our shooting show on the air. So if you need Western, authentic Western clothing at a terrific price, just give our friends out there at Olson Brothers a call. I'll give you that number again, area 509-328-4617. And please tell them you saw it here on the program.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
And friends, we want to remind you about the good folks at Advantage Outlet that have cold steel knives and Spyderco knives at discount prices. If you would like to get information on this, you can give them a call, 1-800-561-1719. Again, 1-800-561-1719. You can find them on the internet at www.advantage-outlet.com/knives. They have great prices, and they've certainly been a help to this program, so give them a buzz today. Now, friends, let's go back to Georgia and visit with Curtis Shipley of Georgia Arms. And as we've said before, these folks, like Bill Wilson, they're actually shooters. They go out and shoot their guns. They know what the heck they're talking about. Let's see what Curtis has to show us.
Johnny, you know, we also manufacture, in addition to our defensive line of handgun, ammunition for competitive shooters, whether it's Bianchi Cup, PPC, whatever type of Masters competition, whatever you're doing.
And let me add, from back behind the camera, also the best priced cowboy ammunition that's available today.
Absolutely. In fact, I got some 4440. If we have a chance, we may shoot a plate or two with that old Vaquero and some 4440 there. But I thought some folks might like to see one of the matches that we shoot is the plate event. I don't know, can you see the plates there? The plate rack there. These are 8-inch plates that we shoot from 10, 15, 20, and 25 yards. And thought some of the shooters might like to see one of the guns that we use. This is a pretty highly tricked up 38 Super that Jim Clark and those guys down there did for me. Really accurate gun without much recoil, and this is some of the equipment that you'd expect to see at a match like Bianchi Cup. So if some of the guys that like to watch thought we might shoot a few plates and let them see how a gun runs with some good old Georgia Arms ammo in there.
Now, friends, of course, we're out of time on the range today. We're on our way back to the shop now, but we want to remind everyone, of course, this is a pretty high-speed looking varmint rifle, heavy barrel. It's got a muzzle brake. But, friends, Georgia Arms has the best priced and most accurate factory varmint or rifle ammunition, especially the varmint. You know, on my AR-15 223, it actually shrunk the groups by half. It shoots, it was a 2.5-inch gun. Now it's shooting inch and a quarter.
Right.
And that's only just your ammunition. That's the only change we made. Right. So we certainly want to mention that.
Well, one of the key advantages is this ballistic tip bullet. We load the ballistic tip bullet in a round there that does a heck of a good job for us. And this 223 is just absolutely devastating on varmints when you use this ballistic tip bullet. And we've got these things as cheap as 50 rounds for $14. So.
And friends, for custom loaded And that's how many rounds?
That's 50 rounds,
50.
$14.
See, friends, that is fantastic
That's
pricing.
loaded with a ballistic tip bullet.
Loaded with a bullet. That's really, I don't see how you do it, Curtis, but I'm glad you do, because all of us get to shoot a lot more. A lot of our viewers don't hand load, or if you're going on that big hunt, maybe they don't trust their hand loads. And let me tell you what, friends, you're carrying a gun for self-defense. You don't want to carry hand loads. You want to carry factory ammunition, because that could mean the difference in court. A jury might not understand about hand loading. Some defense, militant anti-gun defense attorney might turn that against you. Say, well, Mr. Jones here used a super-duper, super explosive, who knows what kind of bullet, made them up just to kill. You don't want to say that.
Right.
So honestly, the guns you carry for self-defense, you want to carry factory ammunition.
Absolutely.
A real advantage.
Yeah.
Well, Curtis, we're out of time. Certainly, as far as out here on the range, I know you got to get back. But we did want to mention this 4440. Friends, I think I told you on the program a while back, as late as last year. In fact, before we really got to know you folks, Curtis, maybe a year and a half ago or so, I bought a box of 4440 factory ammunition, one of those expensive boxes. Paid $28 at a gun shop, because we need it for on the show.
Right.
$28, and yours is $54.
$16.95.
Hey, friends, see, $16.95 versus $28. So, and it's super ammunition.
This is new ammunition. It's designed specifically for cowboy shooting.
Action shooting.
We have got the velocities in a range so that recoil is minimal. We focused on good accuracy and a minimum amount of recoil, and the most important thing, it's affordable. Folks can afford to practice.
That's really true.
And watch those scores go up. And of course, we do it in the 4440, the 45 long Colt, 44 special, 38 special. All the cowboy loads are now in stock. 4570. Yeah.
Well, Curtis, we want to thank you for all the trouble you went to today in coming out here. Now, we're heading back to the factory now, going back to the Georgia Arms plant. But I tell you, I have certainly learned some things out here today, and some of the folks might even want to build their own testing box.
Sure.
They can see how to do it. So we really appreciate you folks being with us, Curtis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I enjoyed it. It was a
hey,
lot of fun.
We need to do it
Let's
more
do it
often.
again. Yeah, thank you.
Well, friends, you'll recognize this fine gentleman sitting next to me today. This is none other than Leroy Scott, the good judge here on the shooting show, shooting show. That's what I need to say. How you doing today? We missed you last week.
Well, I was tied up last week.
Well, apparently you got loose, you know.
I got loose. I'm not loose of the problem yet. I've got an airplane hangar I've got to get rid of.
Well, such problems, and I know it's been one for you. Well, friends, I'll tell you what, we're very pleased again to be here today. A lot of stuff's going on. If you want to see an example of just what the anti-gun types want to do, right now we're seeing, well, I call them the tobacco Nazis. And, you know, it's hard to build a case for tobacco, but still, these folks are gloating. You know, if something kills 400,000 people a year, and they believe that, why don't they just cut off the sale of it, period? But they don't want to cut off the sale of it. They want to get all those billions and billions of dollars. And what was that you said? Even smokers have rights too. Isn't that something you said?
Well, it's something my brother-in-law said. I'm inclined to agree with him.
Well, the do-gooders, absolutely, and I'm not here today on behalf of tobacco, but I couldn't help but be a little bit irritated watching some of these folks gloat over look what we've done. And I tell you what, friends, a lot of these same tactics are ones that the anti-gun people want to use on us. And they can gloat and carry on, and this tobacco deal, I think, is a very successful financial deal for a lot of state governments. The tobacco people continue on in business, but literally, the anti-gun people are going to be using some of these same tactics. You agree, sir?
Well, I don't know how they can get billions of dollars out of it, but...
Well, that's probably true, because we as gun owners, certainly gun companies, which is a relatively small industry, one of the columnists had written a while back about the gun industry compared to somebody like General Electric or somebody like that. The gun companies are small companies as compared, you know. Even Bill Ruger said that in comparison on the American industrial scale, that the whole shooting industry is more like a cottage industry as compared to some of these big companies. So we don't know who that Ms. Landers was talking about.
Of course, Johnny, you know, we went through the Wesson plant
Yes.
up in Connecticut.
Palmer, Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, you're right.
We were in Connecticut.
And it was a cottage industry.
Yeah, it really was. It was. And of course, Smith & Wesson, which is a large company, still, in comparison to the phone companies or something like that, or the chemical companies, they're a small factory as compared. Ruger, the rest of them, they're not very big plants.
And of course, on the tobacco business, remember, there's no provision in the federal Constitution about tobacco.
That's true. That's true. And right now, friends, we have people who want to change our United States Constitution and take the embarrassing, is that what they call it, the embarrassing Second Amendment to some of these folks, take it out.
Well, that's what Dr. Levinson wrote an article and called it, got it published in Yale Law Journal, called The Embarrassing Second Amendment.
He was a staunch liberal, right?
He's a staunch liberal, but he recognized that the arguments that the pro-gun people were using were essentially correct.
Absolutely. Even now, that's I'd say that's character on the liberals' part to admit. Well, you know what, friends? The Second Amendment is not an embarrassment to us, and if you want to keep it in place, something you can do. If you're out there wondering what you can do, well, guess what? We have an answer for you today. You can sit down and write a check to the Shooting Show and help us not only stay on the air, but you can help us reach more people. We are on the threshold of some really wonderful things. We've got to have money to do it. And friends, if you want to see our programming expanded, reaching more markets, reaching a lot of other people who are potential voters on our behalf, here's what you can do. You can sit down and write a check to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code 71024. Wouldn't you agree with that, sir?
Absolutely. You know, Johnny, most of the legislators don't even realize what they're voting on. I had a very fine letter today from my congressional representative, who I know personally, and he told me that he had never voted for a gun control bill.
Well, you told him different, didn't you?
I haven't told him you're different yet. I'm sort of debating whether to really throw it up to him or not. But he voted for the postal spending bill, the postal budget bill last year.
Yeah.
And I would call some provisions in that bill to be very anti-gun.
Oh, no question. That's your school zone. If you pass within 1,000 feet of a school zone, you can go, with a loaded gun in your car, you can go to jail for up to 5 years, friends. This is already in place. And right now we're hearing about selective enforcement of this. But let me tell you what, friends, it's coming. It is coming. And the only way we're going to do anything about it is to reach more people. And more people have to be reached on television, on TV, where we can see them, where they can see us, and they can see we're normal citizens and we can explain our case. That's the only way it's going to be helped. And the Shooting Show is the number one way, the number one gun TV show that has ever been, because, we're not afraid to tell the truth. We're not afraid to stand up and say, all right, here's how it is. And this is something that has got to be done.
But it's got to stay on the air to do that.
It's got to stay on the air to do it. That's true. So, friends, whatever you can do, please help us if you can. We're making some progress, but we've got a long way to go. We have got to reach as many Americans as possible, because you know what? We can do it. We can change this thing by weight of sheer numbers. But the only way we're going to get the sheer numbers, the gun magazines are not the way. We support the gun magazines. That's great. That's not how to reach new people. There are some radio programs, including ours, out there, which is a help. But we've got to do it on the most powerful communications medium that has ever been invented. And you're watching it right now. This is television. It has to be done if we're going to reach the numbers of people that have to be reached.
Friends, we'll see you on the next program. We're out of time for today. Thank you so much for being with us.